My name is Wojtek Kostrzewa. I am a visual artist and usually I work with various media. One of my main themes is to connect discourse, the classical discourse of art and the modern discourse. And during the pandemic in Brazil, I started to work with this very traditional thing, which is a landscape. Landscape in painting, right? In history of art, it was always very present, and very well used topic. And one thing that started to appear in the landscape for the last 2 years, it was the masks that the people were using and are using still because of the coronavirus. And I was thinking how to work with this object. It became like trash. It's visible everywhere, all around the world in all the landscapes. So I started to produce the masks that were covered with clay. I started to make them specifically in the moment when I was reading the news about all the mass graves that were dug around the city of São Paulo during the peak of the pandemic. And it was some sort of activity, a therapeutic activity somehow, everybody felt endangered, and all the news were horrible every day. And the practice in studio became some sort of automatic therapy, just to put out the thoughts, put out the stress out. And in my mind, each mask could be some sort of death mask. The pieces that were also done in ancient cultures. So I've been looking at the photos of the mass graves, and I was imagining that each body is a mask, and I started with this idea of creating a space which would be full of them, full of the very ephemeral masks covered with clay. But then I started to develop this idea, and I thought about creating a piece that could be connected with the public space. The masks laying down in the landscape being a public space, and then what could be the best material to work, thinking about the public space. So I thought about the public sculptures, the public monuments that are usually made in bronze. And then I connected these two elements, and I decided to try to produce a sculpture which could be small in scale and also looking fragile, but made in a material that usually depicts very important personas or moments in history, and that are displayed in the public. So that's how that is the story behind the piece. And right now I'm producing the series of the masks, and yeah.